Unveiling the Compassion Conundrum. Imagine hearing about a single person's death. You envisage a face, a life, a family somewhere, grappling with their worst nightmare. It's really unsettling. Now, picture hearing about the death of 100,000 people. The number is more significant, much more significant. But at that moment, something odd happens in your mind. The emotional weight doesn't grow with the number, it often diminishes. Here, the blind spot is going to break down the Compassion Conundrum into 5 parts for you. This is our Compassion Conundrum. Part 1. The odd equation of human empathy. We usually believe our compassion is boundless. The more people suffer, the more we care, or so we think. But our minds don't operate that way. Emotionally, we're unequipped to process large numbers of human lives. Our empathy was molded thousands of years ago when humans lived in tight-knit groups, tribes of about 30, small villages of several hundred. Our brains evolved to understand individuals, a face, a voice, a name. But when suffering becomes a crowd, something goes awry. The mind can't connect with thousands of faces simultaneously, so it ceases trying. Part 2. A single tale versus a million stats. Consider how news travels on the internet. A lone story can journey around the globe. A picture of someone struggling, a child trapped somewhere, a family losing their home. The response is swift. People share it, donate, discuss it. But when the headline becomes numerical, the reaction alters. 10,000 displaced, 50,000 injured, 1 million affected. These numbers are larger, but they feel oddly remote. The tragedy becomes abstract, not because people lack compassion, but because numbers lack faces. Part 3. The brain's safety net. The Compassion Conundrum isn't just about limitation, it's also about self-preservation. Picture feeling the full emotional brunt of every tragedy occurring on Earth at this moment, every illness, accident, and disaster. It would be overwhelming. The brain defends itself by focusing empathy on what feels personal, close, and human. Everything else gradually fades into the background. Part 4. The invisible influence. This blind spot subtly influences many human decisions. Charities often focus on a single story rather than vast numbers because people respond to individuals, not statistics. Media outlets also concentrate on personal narratives for the same reason. One recognizable life can move people more than 1,000 unknown ones. Even governments and organizations recognize this pattern. A single visible tragedy can spark a massive reaction, while slow, unseen suffering often receives less attention, not because it's less important, but because it's harder for the human mind to comprehend. Part 5. The unsettling truth. The Compassion Conundrum uncovers something uncomfortable about our nature. We'd like to think we care equally about all suffering, but the reality is more complex. Our empathy has boundaries. It readily expands when we see one life clearly, but struggles when the suffering becomes too vast to visualize. The more lives involved, the easier it is for the mind to detach, to reduce people to numbers, and numbers to silence. The next time you hear a large number associated with a tragedy, take a moment. Remember that each number once had a face, a life, a story, a world that existed only for them. The mind may reduce them to statistics, but reality never does. Do you ever notice this? When a single story impacts more than thousands of numbers, share your thoughts and follow the blind spot for more stories like this. Discover patterns in human behavior that often go unnoticed.